Welcome to this edition of the Angels and Destiny show. Why is this show called this, you may ask, so I'll tell you. The accepted meaning of angel is messenger, and the accepted message of destiny is to make firm, establish. So my guest and I bring you messages to establish what you need to know in the present. And of course, I do like working with angels and the calmness they bring. Now, in a moment, I will introduce you to my wonderful returning guest, Christy Water Forsyth. But before that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching the show live at a later date, as it means both a lot to Christy and I for you to watch it and for us to connect with like-minded people. Now, if you've never met me before, then my name is Rae, and I'm the founder of Radiant Angel Energy, and I'm a spiritual guide and healer, passionate about helping you reconnect with your divine presence and step into your purpose. Through angelic Reiki, guided meditations, and exploring past and future lives, I support you in healing your past and creating a soul-aligned future. Now, my journey has taught me that with the right tools and guidance, we can all connect with our highest levels, embrace transformation, and live a life full of abundance and fulfillment. Now, each episode of this show covers various themes of your journey, a mini guided meditation or an angel oracle card reading, with the wisdom of my wonderful guests, like today's returning guest, Christy Water Forsyth, about exploring the energy of 2025 and the guidance the angels have for the year ahead. Now, Christy is the owner of Clarity by Christy, providing spiritual services online at her office in Elmira, New York. She is an angel intuitive, licensed mental health counselor, certified life coach, energy healing practitioner, and certified clinical hypnotherapist. She combines all of this experience and training to create a service she calls Soul Therapy, an intuitive-led life coaching experience. Throughout her life's work, Christy has dedicated herself to helping people to heal and to achieve their highest potential. Christy teaches on intuition, spirituality, taking charge over fear, angels, self-development, and finding the magic that exists in this world. She creates videos on spirituality, personal development, and delivering intuitive messages. She also offers a membership site with monthly content, classes, and resources for spiritual, metaphysical, and personal development. Now, with testimonials such as visiting Christy for guidance and healing was the best choice. I was feeling lost and blocked. She helped me realize that I wasn't blocked, but leveling up. Christy helped guide me into understanding my own strength and power. The angelic healing at first was amazing. I felt the presence and strength and power of these beautiful beings. It was an experience I will never forget, shared with family and friends. Thank you, Christy. And Christy is the most genuine and compassionate individual I have ever met. Her ability to understand the energy and spiritual realm while remaining logical and grounded is unparalleled. I highly recommend her for any of your energy alignment or self-discovery needs. So without further delay, hello, Christy, and welcome back to the Angels and Destiny show. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
Brilliant. So before we get into this fascinating conversation, I want to remind you that not only can you share this video, but you can also ask questions, leave comments and thoughts, as both Christy and I want to be part of this conversation. So please don't be shy, even if it's just to say hello. So Christy, why don't you remind us about your journey and what the angel messages and predictions are for 2025?
Yeah, I'm so excited to share this. Every week, hop on and I do an energy update. So I talk about what's going on in the collective energy and how it's impacting each and every one of us. So when we were talking about what do we want to do, what do we want to cover here today, I felt like that was the perfect thing for us to cover is what to expect for 2025. What are the themes? What do we need to know so that we can, just like I do in my weekly for the year, think about how do we make the most of this energy that we have ahead of us, because that we can always use energy no matter what it is to our benefit. When we understand what it is, we can always use it and make the most out of it. So that's something that I help people to do individually and in my membership with people, is to understand how energy works, to understand how they're being impacted by the energy that's happening around them, how their unique energy field responds to the world around them, all of these things. And so helping people to master their energy field is really what I love to help people to do, and how to master their response to the world around them.
Yeah, which is really important, because although we all have that ability, sometimes we just don't know what to do with it or how to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think so often we are connecting with and feeling energy, and either we're not aware of it or we don't know what that is. Like, I talk a lot about how we'll have these anxious feelings when we go into a space or when we're around certain people and things like that. And we don't have this understanding that we're just simply responding to that person's energy or the energy of a space. We're having some kind of a reaction to it. And our body and our energy field is constantly responding to this energy that's happening around us, whether that's from people, places, things, or the energy of the world around us.
Yeah, and there's a lot of energy of the world around us at the moment.
There sure is. There sure is. And as I was looking at, okay, what's going on in 2025? What do we expect in 2025? The answer to that question really is expect the unexpected. I think that in so many ways, we've always said that 2020 was certainly an unprecedented year, right? And everybody's still, I feel like, trying to get themselves back into balance and catching up with how many changes have happened. And I feel like 2025 is that and then some. We have so much that's happening, whether it's with the astrology and also just in what I'm connecting with in the energy and the messages that I received around that, is really to know that it's going to be unpredictable, to know that we're going to have to be able to go with the flow, because the world is changing. This is what we all came here for, is to experience what I refer to as new earth, right? This time that allows us to all come together and be more connected, and be more connected with our intuitive gifts. And people who follow these types of things, people who listen to your show, that kind of stuff, have an awareness of that there's something that we're working toward. There's something bigger. There's something that we're moving in the direction of. And I feel like 2025 is that launching year for that, where we start to see ourselves really moving into that. We've been talking about New Earth for years and years and years. I think that this is the year where we start to really see that, where we start to watch those people around us who maybe didn't seem that spiritually connected before, or who maybe weren't willing to take a look at or even aware of their intuitive gifts. I think that we're going to find that more and more people are really, I call it, unlocking their superpowers, where we have this ability to just connect in ways that last year we didn't have the understanding that we could, or that we haven't connected with in years and years, maybe since we were a child, or things like that. So this is going to be a year where I think a lot of people are going to unlock their superpowers.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it is. I think the things that were set up in 2020, when we kind of like had to go into that space of our own being and get to know ourselves. I think that kind of like, although we may not have realized it at the time, that has actually started seeping in, and we're just sort of like, now that we're coming into 2025, we're processing that, and we're actually expanding on that now. We've lost that sort of like fear thing has kind of like dropped back a little bit, because we're expanding now going forward.
Absolutely. I think it was getting us ready for these changes that are coming in now, allowing us to be prepared, and teaching us how to deal with change and and shifts and the world being different. And it was all this preparation to get us to this place, because now we have Pluto and Aquarius, and that's such a big thing. This is a totally new era. And I think by the time that we're at the end of 2025, we're going to be very, very aware of that. Just looking at the beginning of this year, there's a lot of craziness going on already. And it's just a little bit like every day, okay, now what's happening now?
Yeah, exactly.
And so a big part of the messages that I get for this year are centered around just this willingness to not only learn to be okay with uncertainty, but to actually embrace it. I think there's real power in learning how to embrace that and being willing to go with the flow. And part of how I think that we can do this, the word that I was given for the year is wonder. So part of what we're wanting to do to embrace the uncertainty is to lean into this sense of wonder, this feeling of wonder, this approach of wonder as all of these things that are about to unfold for us are unfolding, so that we can see that through wonder instead of fear, essentially. We can choose to be afraid. We can choose to be unmovable, unshiftable, and to stay stuck where we are. But I think that we're going to really feel like we're swimming upstream in this energy if we do that. So instead, if we can choose to lean in and to embrace it all from a place of wonder, to actually be in awe at what's happening, because again, this is what we came here. This is the time that we came here for. And the
Yeah.
people, like, that's resonating in your soul, or if that is resonating in your soul, or there's something about that that you're responding to, I'm talking to you, because there's so many people here who came here for a purpose, here in this time to step in as the leaders of New Earth. So this is such an important time. And so can we, in this time, embrace it all with that sense of wonder, to be excited about what's happening, to let it be a year of a great adventure that's unfolding for us.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And and it's again, this has come up so often. It's going back to that childlike wonder. Children tend to go with the flow, with whatever, with whatever is happening. They have that wonder, that excitement. Oh my God, there's magic going on. And yeah, we need to get back to that, and stay in that energy, no matter what's going on around us. We've survived this long, the human species has survived. So I'm pretty sure we're going to survive what's going on now. So just as you said, go with the flow is so important.
Absolutely. And I don't even get, when we're talking about change, I know that we all, or a lot of people, tend to dread change. I don't even necessarily feel like these are bad changes, or what some people would call bad changes. I I get the sense that there's a lot of magic that's happening. You use the word magic. There's a lot of magic that's happening. There's a lot of things that are developing and moving, that once we get past that normal human adjustment to the changes and we just learn to embrace it, that it's going to be incredibly magical. And if we're looking for the magic, we're going to find it, right? It's all about the eyes that we're choosing to see the world through. And so if we choose to see the world through that place, from that place of childlike wonder, I think it's going to be a phenomenal year for us.
Yeah, phenomenal. I know a lot of the astrology, and that, and numerology, and a 9 year, it's an ending, wrapping up things that have gone on, but it's also the time for new starts. Getting ready for the 1 year next year, so we can hit the 2026 running.
Exactly. I always call this like a doors year, right? So we're in a place where we're going to be closing a lot of doors. And I feel like in a lot of situations, it's like we're closing and locking some doors. This is truly a new era. So this is, yes, next year will be a 1 year, but I think it's going to be a 1 year unlike any 1 year that we've ever experienced here in our lifetime anyway. And so this year there is that focus on leaning into this new era and stepping through new doors and being willing to allow the doors that we're feeling called to close, or the doors that are being closed for us, because I think that a lot of doors are going to be closed for us. Our job is to let those be closed and to let them be locked, and to allow ourselves to move forward with that. I think there's a lot of allowing the past to simply fall away here in this year. So I think that we're going to find that almost with more ease than we expected, that these things that we've been holding on to for years and years and years, and these things that have felt like these emotional bruises in our life, we're going to find that somewhere along the way that just healed, that feels different for us. We don't have the same response to that. We don't have the same level of pain to that. And so I think also as we get toward the end of the year, we're going to recognize, wow, I really healed so much. I'm not even sure how I healed it. That's my sense of that. It's just like this process of allowing us to experience whatever it is that we need to experience to allow it to be healed. And to allow us to be ready, because this is such a year, it's such a heart-focused year. And so we have to do this healing that we need to do in order to allow us to prepare for next year, where there's an even bigger heart opening. And in order for us to step into that heart opening and to really, because that's very vulnerable for us as human beings, we have to allow that healing process to happen. So I do think that we may find that there are things that come up throughout the year that feel like sticking points, or feel like, oh, like somebody's tapping on that bruise. And so we want to just keep in mind, this is an opportunity for me to heal this. This is an opportunity for me to forgive this, or to release this, or to let this go in some way, and to close this door for good, so that I'm ready to give all of myself on a whole new level moving forward. I'm just ready for that, because I don't think we have a full understanding, or many of us don't have that full understanding of what that's like to truly just live and exist in this world with our hearts wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone's been brave enough to say hello. Hi, Chris. Thank you for
Chris.
joining us from the West Midlands. So don't forget, please do say hello. Let us know where you're from. If you've got any questions or comments, then please do put them in the comments. So, we're talking about things that are coming up this year that people, to heal, to clear, to close the doors on. But there may be some people who go, yeah, that sounds really great, but how on earth do I do that? How do I navigate through this?
I think that we just allow ourselves to be led through it. The thing is that we have an understanding deep within ourselves exactly what it is that we need. We have all of the tools to heal ourselves, to navigate this life that we have planned for ourselves here. We have all of that within. So I think that if we're feeling stuck with that, to just take some time and to listen and to ask ourselves, what do I need right now? I think that's such an important question for us to be asking, especially this year. What do I need right now? And we all do that differently. Some of us do that. I do that by taking some time and some space to be alone in my own energy, and to meditate on things, and to just be able to like shut out all of the noise of the world, and be able to connect with my own energy. And I do that through doing things that are creative, and through moving the body. And like, so it's all of those things that we just find ourselves feeling pulled to, that we know are helpful. And then I know other people are more extroverted, and they feel this pull to process things with other people, and they get the answers that they're looking for through conversation with a trusted friend, or with a counselor, or somebody else that you feel brings a lot of wisdom into your world. Or find it helpful to just be out and about and having experiences and paying attention to what's happening to you in the world around you. We are the world, I always say, is like one giant tarot card, right? There's so many signs and synchronicities that are happening around us all day, every day. And so a lot of this too is like just paying attention and starting to give more awareness to what's happening around us. Because if it feels like a sign, it probably is. If it feels like guidance, it probably is. You can be at a cafe or something and overhear a conversation, and the sentence or the word that you hear means something to you, is important for you. So know that, yes, that's somebody else's conversation, but also, yes, that's a sign for you. That's a message for you. That's something that you need to be aware of and that you need to know. We can have numbers show up on our path. Angel numbers are big for us, right? The repeating numbers, we call those angel numbers. And those all mean different things, but at the root of it, they also mean the angels are with you. They are supporting you, and they want you to know that you are supported here on this journey. So there's repeating numbers. There's even, I see a lot of things on license plates or signs or animals that cross my path. There's so many different ways, but I think a lot of this too is just like paying attention to that guidance that's happening outside of ourselves and taking the time to tune into the guidance that's happening within ourselves. And that's going to help to guide this journey. And that's going to look different for everybody. So we just want to make sure that we're honoring that, however you do that. You know, if like you feel like when you're at the gym and you're working out or you're on the treadmill or something like that, and you feel like you get really good ideas that are coming through, then take notes on that, write that down. That's probably when you're most open to receiving your messages. Or for me, it's a lot when I'm in the shower too. I don't know if you notice that about yourself, but like water being a conductor and that quiet, focused time for me, I have the best messages come through. And then I'm like always trying to I wish there was a way to keep a notebook in the shower because I'm always like, oh, I have to remember that for afterwards. But my point is to just pay attention to where we feel like we're connecting and where we feel like we are receiving those messages, because we're always guided. We never have to do this journey alone, and our angels want to show us the way.
Yeah, they certainly do. And Chris says 1111.
Yes, 1111. That's a big number for now, because we're talking about there's so many new beginnings that are happening. And to me, 1111 and the 11s, like these are doorways, they're gateways into something new, into new beginnings. And so if that's showing up for you, a lot of times that means that you're entering into a new level of your awakening, a new level of your intuitive gifts, or a new level, a new beginning in your life.
Yeah, totally. I always see the ones as sort of like pillars that you actually walk through, portals.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, which I think is absolutely amazing when people actually start looking at. But you're so right about synchronicities and going within, and a lot of the readings I've been doing recently, the cards that keep coming out are literally going within, taking that time to that space to be you, to journal, to pay attention to what's going on around you. So the angels, the universe are really trying to push that on people at the moment, because as we all know, when the same message and the cards keep coming through constantly, they want you to get that message.
Absolutely, they do. And it's so important. What I find, and I'm sure that you see this too, I find that people tend to overthink this big time. And so they think that it has to be this special meditation time that they carve out. And that's really beautiful when we can do that. But I also think that it's just going to come through when it comes through, right? So if you have a little bit of time by yourself when you're driving in your car, I have a lot of people that I work with, they get so many of their messages when they're driving in their car. And by the way, when we're driving, we tend to go into a hypnotic state, and that allows for us to connect with insights and messages and clarity and all the things that we want to connect with anyway. So it doesn't have to be this perfect thing where you do this perfect meditation in with like sitting in front of an altar and you have to sit a certain way and do a certain thing. I think we innately, intuitively just have this understanding of how to connect with ourselves. And so if we just get out of our own way and stop overthinking it, it's going to work out. For some people, that's sitting next to something in nature or just looking at the sky, taking a few minutes to stare at the sky and notice how you feel and notice what's coming through, sitting by a body of water, spending time in nature. It can be so many different things. It's just about noticing when you have that feeling or when you feel connected to whatever that is for you, source, God, the universe.
Yeah, absolutely. And pets, they're a really, if you're sitting there stroking your pet, you can get into that really nice relaxation. Awake says, hi, Rae and Christy. So much shed and release and transformation going on. It reminds me of the lotus flower.
Yes, absolutely. I think that we have that to look forward to, right? There's so much work that we're doing this year, but I also think that we did a lot of that in 2024. So I think our job in 2025 is to work on becoming the lotus flower, really opening, receiving, shining, being excited and ready to take on life. I think that this year gets to be a lot more fun than 2024 was. If we allow it, if we allow that process, and that's the approach that we're taking to life. I think sometimes too, we can take ourselves and life far too seriously. So if we can just make the effort to just see it from a perspective that's a little bit more lighthearted, that's really going to be how we connect with that lotus flower.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, childlike,
Yes,
that childlike fun, joy, curiosity. I mean, I love the word curiosity. I think that is such curiosity and magic are two of my most favorite words in the world, because I just think they conjure up so much freedom and expression and going with the flow.
Exactly. It's and we naturally do it. We just have forgotten how. But because it's something that we do naturally, when we start to lean into it and we say, how can I just approach today with a little bit more of a lightheartedness, with a little bit more curiosity? And we take it hour by hour throughout the day and do that, we're going to find pretty quickly that we're able to shift into that. And that's going to be the key to navigating this year.
Yeah. It's also the impression I get. It's taking it slowly as well. It's not rushing forward, doing this. I mean, we were talking before the show started about how naturally we are just doing things slowly, bringing stuff in. We're not going, right, I need to get this done, get this done, get this done, get this done. It's about taking it slowly and enjoying the process of creating this new life, this energy that we've got coming in.
Absolutely. And we were talking too just about not feeling the energy to do all of those things. And I think with the astrology and just the energy that I'm feeling, we're not going to really feel like we have a momentum going until March anyway. And so I think this is a good time to use this energy to go within and to connect and to prepare ourselves for all that is coming in as well. And this is going to be a year of a lot of truth coming to the surface as well. And so allowing ourselves to really be tuned in, tapped into ourselves, to our intuition, and most importantly, to our discernment, so that we can be taking a look at whatever is being presented to us, whatever is being, shared with us, and use that discernment to decide, does that align for me? Does that feel like true for me? I think that we're going to really need that as well. So yeah, taking our time and just getting to know, how do we intuitively connect? How do I feel? And also getting a little bit of extra rest. I think that we are going to see that momentum pick up. And so we're going to want that energy to be able to drive a little bit harder as we get out into March and April.
Yeah, absolutely. And Awaka says 222, 333, 444, and 555 for me. Beautiful numbers.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And I love the way that you're posting them in order. And when I see that, usually, and I don't know if that's how you're seeing them, but I'm going to assume here with that. So when they show up in order like that, I tend to interpret that to be like almost like a staircase, right? Like that you're moving through a process and you're climbing that staircase. You're progressing in the direction of some of the things that you're wanting to create and that you are creating.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So, what else are you picking? Or have you been picking up? Have the angels been telling you about this year? I mean, discernment is a big thing, especially with everything that is going on. And it's to take that time and don't react. Take that step back and think when you hear it. Don't allow it to trigger you to actually do something. Just take that step back. What is it? Ask the question. Is this the truth for me? Is this really happening?
Exactly. We want to be taking that step back and not necessarily interpreting what's being presented to us from a place of too much emotion. We want to just like be able to take it and take our time with it and process, how do I feel about this? How aligned does this feel for me? Because I think that so many of us are taking a look at even things that have been presented to the collective for the past several years. And I'm watching it happen more and more where people are looking at that and going, oh, that doesn't really resonate for me anymore, or that doesn't quite feel right. And so I want you to pay attention to that as you're navigating this year. Does it feel right? Does it not? Does it feel aligned for you? And I think this is a year that it's important for us to ask a lot of questions and for us to allow each question to lead to another question. And again, like there's that word curiosity again, to just be curious about where all of these questions lead us. And this is going to bring us into this place where we're understanding truth on a whole new level and also feeling that much more spiritually connected, because I think a lot of this too is going to be about helping us to understand how we connect spiritually in different ways. I think that we're going to find we're connecting on a much deeper level spiritually.
Yeah, and I also think it's going to be, I mean, I think this has been a gradual thing coming up as well, from 2020 as well, is that it's going to be a lot more collective community now. It's going to be a lot more working with other people, allowing other people into your life and supporting each other as we're going along with everything that is going on.
Absolutely. I think that is so key, because we've all felt it, this divide that's been present, and we're right on the precipice of coming together in a way that I don't think that we've seen in this lifetime. And so, and I was talking about the heart center opening, and that's part of it, right? Is for us to begin to understand the God spark that exists within us, but to love one another from a place of divinity and to be able to tap into that. And that's what we're being prepared to do. And that's going to allow us to love one another more, to be more kind, to be more compassionate, to come together, to understand that we're all in this together. And I think that we almost had to experience this level of division so that we could understand, oh yeah, we don't like how that feels. That doesn't feel good. And so we want to come together and feel connected to one another. And so I think we're going to see a lot of that beginning to develop even more so in 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And again, when you look at all the things that have been happening, are happening in the world, it's bringing people. Yes, they might seem like, oh my God, what is going on? Everything's crazy, but it's bringing people together. People are getting to know each other, work together. So yes, it's a negative, but it's also a positive, which is the balance of life.
Exactly. And sometimes we have to experience that. We have to go into the shadow aspect of things to truly be able to understand and embrace the light aspect of that. I think that we've been going through our shadow work as a planet. We do that individually, but we do that as a planet as well. And now we're starting to look around and go, oh, I want things to be different. So it's going to allow us to embrace this uncertainty. And speaking of different, this is going to be a year of so many technological advances. I think that it's going to go down in history as the year that we're just like, wow, that came out, that came out, that came out. And I feel specifically like for our physical health, there's a lot that's coming to light in terms of allowing us through frequency and through some other things, a level of healing that we didn't even understand, or most of us didn't even understand was possible until this year.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot more technology being opened up, to that's been used and is now being is now being opened up, ready for us to start using it. And again, it's the thing with AI, because I know some people, in the spiritual realm, etc., going, oh my God, AI, it's going to it's going to cause issues and stuff like that. But my theory is, well, if we work with AI on that heart level, on that spiritual level, then that's going to understand those emotions, that way of being, that heart-centered being, so that it won't sort of like be, I don't know, like the movies show where AI takes over and it kills humans, etc. If we use it in that heart-based way, my God, how amazing is it going to be for us to free us up to take the time to spend time in nature and connecting.
I agree with you. I think it's all about the intention. And if it allows for us to have more time and energy to focus on those things that do light us up, that don't drag us down, that don't keep us busy, if it allows us to have more ease in our lives, I feel really good about it. And so again, I think what you're saying, it all starts with that intention for it to be helpful for us.
Yeah. And it's an individual intention, but also a collective intention.
Mhm.
The more of us that are going, okay, this is going to be a positive thing, let's do it from the heart, the more that energy builds, and it will be that intention. That intention will explode into the world.
Exactly. We can same idea as I was talking about with the wonder. We can approach it from a place of wonder or a place of fear. And we have a choice there with that. But if we approach it from wonder and we say, wow, that's really incredible. That can do that for me. And it can save me a lot of time and energy on that. And it creates more ease in my life. Isn't that wonderful? If we could just be excited about that and embrace that, I think that could be a really, really positive thing for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So have the angels given you any other guidance or things that we need to know for 2025?
I think that that's the big stuff. I think that we want to just be making sure that there's a bigger focus on fun and adventure in 2025. So really trying to make that a bigger priority in our lives is going to help us as we navigate the year. Also, just being willing to embrace our weird, like those things that make us unique, those things that make us different. I think that so many people who have felt like an outsider before are going to now feel like they're ready to step into a leadership role. They're ready to just be this version of themselves that they've always wanted to be, but they've been afraid to be. And I think like as we lean into that, we just let ourselves be as much as possible our most authentic selves. That's going to set us up for absolute success in 2025. So this is not about looking like anybody else or following anybody else's path. This is about really pioneering our own path and honoring that path as it's unfolding and honoring the person that we are and we're created to be. I think that we're going to understand that better by the end of the year. And I think that as we honor that and just let ourselves be who we are, that's going to really allow us to expand and connect with success and joy and all the things that we want to create in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. Being our own unique selves, I always, people always say, what's it they say, oh my God, you're mad, you're weird, etc. And I've always said, no, I'm unique. Every single one of us is a unique individual. Embrace your uniqueness.
Exactly. And what's so funny? I'm curious if you have this experience too. So same, I've had that experience, but I also have so many people come to me and they want to tell me about their weird, like on the down low, they're like, listen, like I have this experience, this happens to me. And, you won't think this is weird. I hear that all the time. You won't think this is weird. So I can tell you. But what they don't understand is that everybody's coming to me with those kind of comments. And so it's so funny because there's more weird people out there than we realize. There's more people having these spiritual experiences, these intuitive experiences, these experiences with having a gift that they don't quite understand. And so I see it all the time with so many different people that everybody else, if they knew that was happening for them, they would be totally surprised by it. But I guess I get to see everybody's insides and I get to hear about all the weird that's happening for everybody.
Yeah, and that's the thing, a lot of people are everyday things, they don't have that, those people that go, yeah, well, that's actually quite normal, which is again where I think the community aspect, people are going to be finding more like-minded people this year, and if set out to find them, set the intention. I want to connect with these people this year. Angels universe, I'm ready. Let me meet those people. Let's get us connected.
Yes, exactly. And by the way, by the end of 2025, that's going to be a way bigger pool of people. I'm watching it happen all the time. Where people are like, oh, wait, I feel like there might be more to life than this. And all of a sudden they're starting to have these experiences, or they're starting to just honor their intuition a little bit more, or to tune in with themselves and to make decisions from that place. And I'm just like watching these changes and these expansions that are happening for people. And so what maybe once was weird, I think is going to be the norm more and more. And so people are opening up, people are sharing more about this, and that's going to be way more true by the end of 2025.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be true by the end of 2025. So, as you know, I do guided meditations, ancient oracle card reads, and each week I like to ask my guests whether they would like me to do a mini guided meditation. I'll pull an angel oracle card for themselves and those watching. But I also know that Christy can do a little meditation for us. So I'm going to hand over to Christy, and then afterwards I'm going to pull a card and see what the card comes up with.
Beautiful. Yeah. So we're going to do a little invocation for the angels. And this is something that I use every day to feel like I am surrounded by angels, like I have like just a circle of angels around me, so that I feel safe and protected and as aligned as I possibly can. So I'll just lead you guys through that. And maybe just take a minute, maybe close your eyes if you would like to. Just take a moment to connect with your breathing. Allowing that breathing to naturally slow down. And we are going to invoke Archangel Michael to come in front of us. Calling in Archangel Michael to the front of us. Maybe you're even feeling the presence of his energy coming in. And now we will invoke Archangel Gabriel behind us, covering our backs, supporting us with whatever we need to say or share. And now we invoke Archangel Uriel to the right of us, feeling that energy coming in. And to the left of us, we now invoke Archangel Raphael, bringing us healing and support on our healing journey. And finally, to support our spiritual journey, invoking Archangel Metatron to come in above our heads. And with one more breath, just feeling that connection, feeling that power, having that awareness that every day as you walk around, you are walking around with an entourage of angels and angelic protection. And so it is.
So it is. That was beautiful. The colours that came in were just absolutely amazing, and they all ended up coming into one orange. It's beautiful. Beautiful orange colour. So let's see what the cards have got for Christy and everyone watching. So as you know, when I do the cards, I do the cards for what we need to know for our highest good at this moment in time. So even though I work with the past, we go into the past to heal and learn from it so it doesn't affect us in the present. And when we go into the future, we learn, understand and know about our future so it doesn't affect us in the present. So what does Christy and everyone who's watching this need to know for their highest good? Okay. Perfect card for the whole show. Miracles. Expect the wondrous to emerge.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I mean, what could be a better card to actually come out, It is, expect that there's going to be miracles and wonders happening, in our lives at the moment, in your lives at the moment, because when you expect that to happen, it does happen. Be open to that joyfulness, that excitedness of those things happening. So it's confirmation of what Christy's been saying, what the show's been been about today, and I just love the colors with the sort of like the stars and the moon. And funny enough, that orange on there is kind of like the color that was coming through when I had the angels come around me. So I think that's absolutely amazing that card has come out. And Mawaka says, yeah, loving our weirdness.
Yes. We love all of the weirdness. That's what makes you you.
Yeah, makes you unique. which is what we like. So, Christy, do you have any insights or thoughts or last words of wisdom to leave our viewers?
I think the most important thing is to just find a little bit of fun in every single day. How can I laugh a little bit more? How can I have a little bit more fun? How can I see this from a perspective that feels a little bit lighter? And if we make that commitment to that, I think that we're going to have an incredible year ahead.
Yeah, beautiful. So I hope everyone that you've enjoyed this conversation and found it insightful, because I know I definitely have. So if people want to connect with you, Christy, how do they do that? And if you get any free gifts, offers, or anything coming up at all that you want to share?
The best place that they can connect with everything of mine is on my website, claritybychristy.com. That has a little bit of everything on there, including my Clarity by Christy membership that I still have up for $888 a month right now. And that is, I do monthly readings where I talk about the energy, just kind of how I did here for the year. I break down what to expect for the month in the astrology and in the energy and the angel messages for the month. I do energy sessions to help people to support their energy field as they're navigating the month and the full moon and all of the things, and all kinds of classes and resources and tools for your spiritual and personal development journey. You can also find me on most places at Christy Clarity. So YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all of those places.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'll do is I'll put a link to the website and some of those in the comments after the show's finished. So thank you, Christy, for sharing your wisdom. It's been an absolute pleasure having you back on the show. I've just loved the conversation and the energy you bring. Is just all my guests are amazing, but you've been really amazing
Oh,
to
thank you so
yeah,
much. I always
really
love to be
amazing.
here.
It's brilliant. It's always nice when we can talk angels and they come in for everyone who's watching. And of course, if you have been watching this, then I'd love to invite you to a free live 20-minute SoulPath Discovery one-to-one video call with me, where during our time together, we'll pull a couple of angel oracle cards to gain clarity on what's happening in your life right now and what guidance your higher self or the angels may have for you. And of course, if you feel called, I can also share how we could work together, whether through past life regression to help deep seated patterns, future life progression to reveal your most aligned path, or angelic Reiki for transformative healing at every level of your being. This is your opportunity to heal deeply, connect with your soul gifts, and step confidently into the life you always meant to live. Let's start this powerful journey together. And again, I'd like to thank everyone so much for watching. And for Mawaka and Chris for joining in with the conversation. Thank you so much. And please share this video, as I'm sure there are more people who feel lost and want to clear on their destiny just like you, and could really do with hearing, the wisdom that's come through from Christy today. And of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, then please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified of when this show goes live, my other show, Oracle Cards and Meditation, your weekend reset, which goes out live every Friday at 3 p.m., or I post new guided meditations. And remember, every time that you like, share, comment on my posts, on Christy's post, on her YouTube channel, on any of my guests' channels, you're really helping us get that message out there. You're part of that collective energy of bringing in all this heart-centered wisdom that can help everybody and Gaia to expand and grow in this lifetime. And I look forward to you all joining me, same time, same place next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.